What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Vonnie V. Welcome to my journal. So I decided that in 2020, I'm going to share all my thoughts and my life lessons with the world, like things that I would write down in my own journal. I decided might as well make it a video journal. So welcome to my journal. We got some things to talk about today as usual. But before we get started, don't forget, check out my book, Blueprint for Abundance, on Amazon.com. You can go to my website, www.vonnievirgil.com, real easy. All my social media is Vonnie Virgil. Just type in the name on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Amazon, and my book and my name and my face is going to pop up. Okay, let's get started. Today, we need to talk about the ego. The ego. Listen, this is not a new lesson for me. This is not, like I said, in 2020, I'm going to be talking about the new lessons that I've been learning. But this lesson, the ego, this is not a new lesson for me. I've been learning, and everybody else has been learning lessons about the ego forever. The God, the universe, whoever your higher power is, they not letting you get 3-4 months in life living up under a big, huge ego. We need to talk about the ego because we need to check that ego, right? We need to just keep that ego in its place. All right, we don't got to beat the ego up. The ego is only doing its job, right? Like the job of your psyche, the job of your ego is to protect you. It's to defend you. I mean, it's kind of like a survival mechanism, right? Like if somebody assassinating your character, your ego is supposed to invigorate you to defend yourself. If somebody is lying on you, your ego was invented to help you protect yourself against that. And so the ego is not a bad thing in and of itself. Everybody got an ego. Little kids got egos. Grown-ups got egos. The ego is a good thing, but just like all good things, if you use it out of balance, it can turn into a bad thing. The ego wants to protect you. Your ego is on your side at first, right? As long as you keep it in line and let it defend you when you need to be defended and protect you when you need to be protected, the ego is doing its job. But the problem is when we let the ego come into situations that it shouldn't be, like the ego should just be an occasional mechanism. It's like a fight. Don't nobody in this day and age have a need to be out there physically fighting all the time. Like we just not in a barbaric survival type of evolution stage anymore. We don't have to be out here fighting all the time. But in our egos, we make a lot of things fights that don't have to be fights. So if you feeling like you're being attacked all the time, if you feeling like you need to defend yourself a lot, if you find yourself in a lot of different conflicts, that's probably because your ego has gotten out of whack. The ego is an occasional tool. It's only been less than a handful of times in my life I can count that somebody lied on me, that I had to step in and defend myself. It's only been a handful of times in my life that somebody then assassinated my character, where I had to let my ego step in and defend me against that. This is not a tool that is something it's not something you need every single day. It's not something you need in every single relationship multiple times a day. Your ego is an occasional tool. But when your ego gets too big, it's because you don't feel safe in the world. You feel attacked a lot. You feel like you need to defend yourself a lot. And I can understand this. A lot of people, I've been there, where you get to a point where you don't really feel safe in the world. You feel like, man, I gotta always have my guard up. I don't know who I can trust. I've been taken advantage of. I've been abused, etc. I get it. And it's in those times where the ego can really get out of whack. But this is why it's so important to have a relationship with God or with your higher power or whoever you can look up to as a higher power for you. You need to feel safe in the world, right? Your mind, your psyche needs to feel safe. You need to feel like somebody got your back at all times, right? You need to feel like somebody can protect you. You need to feel like you're not alone in the world and you're not the only person who got to throw them dukes up for yourself. And sometimes it's not always human people around who can help us with that. And that's why it's important to have a relationship with God, so you can feel that sense of safety and you can feel that sense of peace when you encounter situations that make you feel like, I think I need protection. I think I need somebody to defend me. I think I need somebody to speak for me. It's very important to have that relationship with that higher power to help keep that ego in check. I'm going to tell you another thing. If you don't keep that ego in check, your higher power will keep that ego in check. Trust me when I tell you. It's a verse in the Bible. I was trying to look it up today while I was driving. I was like, man, let me stop being on my phone while I'm driving. So I put it down and I never got back to looking it up. But I remember it's a verse in the Bible that talks about how if you don't check yourself, and I'm paraphrasing obviously, if you don't check yourself, God will check you. Check your own ego. Don't let your ego get out of check to where you start causing damage, to where you on the attack so much that you keeping good people out of your life. You on the attack so much that you're doing damage to good people in your life. You're on the attack so much that you're overprotective. You're a bulldog when you could just be chilling. Like, put that in check, because if your ego starts doing damage to people, the universe will step in. One of the whole reasons for the universe's power and for God's power is to protect us from damage. And if we're going around here doing damage to others, doing damage to ourselves, God or the universe or whoever you believe in will step in to protect you and others from your damage. You have to put that ego in check. Listen, I know that this is not news to you. If you've been living life, you know that you will get put in check if you keep walking around here letting your ego do damage. But some of us learn that lesson a little bit harder than others. We don't learn from some people don't learn from their own experiences, and some people don't learn from other people's experiences. I like to be one of those people who I want to learn from other people's experiences. I don't want to have to suffer to learn an important lesson. I'd rather watch, if somebody else in the past has suffered, I'd rather learn from their suffering. And I'm telling you, I have gone through things in life where my ego then had to get checked. And I'm at the point now where it's like the ego is my enemy. As soon as I could sniff that thing stepping in, I'm like, no, shawty, chill. I got this. We're going to use some humility. We're going to use some love. We're going to use some joy. We're going to use some faith. We're going to use some peace. I can't let you run this show. I appreciate you stepping in, trying to help me, but I got this. I think I can take it from here. That's how you have to roll. I wish somebody would have had a video like this for me when the universe was out there checking my ego. When I lacked the self-awareness to notice my ego and check it myself, God had to step in. The universe had to step in to check my ego. So what I would encourage you to do is save this video. Put it somewhere in your Facebook save it in your phone or something, and like every 3 months, look at it again. Just in case. You might be out here for the next few months just chilling. You ain't doing no damage. Your ego ain't causing no harm. But just check in with yourself, because a lot of times it's easy to lack self-awareness when you're in self-protective mode, right? Like when somebody fighting, they don't care how they look. They don't care how they sound. They don't even really know what's going on. They in fight or flight, everything. It's so much adrenaline pumping that they're not really aware of the situation as much as they should be. So don't just trust your flesh to get it right for you, okay? Keep your ego in check, because if you don't, the universe will get you. Your job will get you. Your relationships will start falling apart. Your money start getting messed up. Trust me, bro. The world has a way of making sure that you feel it when your ego is out of whack. Listen, share this video and save this video. Let me know what you think. I know that I'm not the only person who has learned this lesson. I might be one of the few people, these days who gonna talk about it. I'll go into detail in the future about some of my own personal ego mistakes, but I know everybody can relate to this, all right? If you like this message, click like, click share with somebody who got that big old ego and they don't know it. Just, what I'm saying, on the low, slip it to them. Let them know, man, somebody gave this to me. I'm just passing it around to everybody, all right? Listen, I love you guys. I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Peace.